Hello, my name is Shauna Lithgow and I am the Widening Participation Coordinator for Blackpool Teaching Hospitals. In today's video, I will be showing you how to create a Trac account and apply for NHS jobs. Firstly, you need to go onto Google and type into your browser www.trac.jobs. It will then take you to the Trac Jobs homepage. You will either need to log into your account or create a new account on Trac Jobs. If you have not got a Trac Jobs account, you will need to create one. You do this by entering in your email address and clicking Create Account. Once you have done this, you are now ready to create your online CV. Your online CV can be used to pre-fill any new applications, which will significantly speed up the process of applying for multiple jobs. The more questions you complete in your online CV, the fewer questions you will have to complete per application. Each question can still be edited as requested on multiple application forms. Step 1. You need to fill in your education and professional qualifications. This is your GCSEs, any BTEC courses you have completed, any A-levels and any degrees you have completed in the past. Once you have populated this information, you need to hit the Save button. This will then take you to step 2 of creating your online CV. On this part, you need to enter any training courses you have attended in the past. Once you have completed this part, you need to hit the Save button. Next, you will need to fill in your employment history. On the employment history, you need to fill in your employer name, your employer address, type of business, reporting to, telephone, your job title, your start date, your end date, your salary and period of notice. You also need to fill in your reason for leaving and a brief description of your duties and responsibilities. If you have had multiple jobs in the past, you will need to add this onto your online CV. You can do this by clicking Add Another. You will then need to populate all the information on the form and click Save. Once you've completed your employment history, it will then take you to the next step. This is gaps in employment. If you have had any gaps in your employment history, you will need to state this in the box on the online CV and click the Save button. Once you have completed your employment history, you will then need to fill out your supporting information. On this section of your online CV, you will need to populate your personal statement and your preferred employment type. When filling out your personal statement, I would strongly advise that you have the person specification and the job description up for the role that you are applying for. This will be useful as you can use the job description as a guide to what you need to write in your personal statement. When applying for an NHS job, this is all done on a point scheme. So the more information you give on your personal statement that mirrors the job description, the more likely you are to get shortlisted for an interview. Once you have filled out your personal statement and click the Save button, you are then ready to move on to preferred employment type. On this section of your online CV, you will need to populate what your preferred employment type is, whether this is full-time, part-time, job share, secondment or flexible hours. Once you have ticked the box, you will then need to click the Save button. Once you have completed your preferred employment type, you have then made a great start on creating your online CV. This will now be your online CV for when you come to applying for new NHS jobs. So now let's look for some jobs that we are ready to apply for. You will need to go onto your browser and search NHS jobs. This will then take you to the NHS jobs page. Once you are on the NHS jobs page, you will need to click Go to Search. This is where you fill out what job you are looking for and where. For the purposes of this training video, I am looking for all jobs in Blackpool. Once you have found a job role that you are looking to apply for, you will need to click into this position. Once you've gone onto this page, it will bring up all the relevant information, such as the pay, the contract length, the working pattern, the job location, and the manager in question that is recruiting for this job. You will find the job description and the person specification on the right hand side of the page. You need to make sure you have a good read through of both of these documents, as you need to make sure you are the correct person for the job and you fit the criteria when applying. Once you have read all the relevant information, you should then click Apply for this job. Once you have clicked Apply for this job, it will then redirect you to the Trac jobs page. You are now ready to start your application for applying for the job. On this section, you need to fill out if you are currently an employee of the trust that you are applying for and your immigration status. Once you have completed that section, you are now ready to populate your personal details. You do this by clicking Start Section. On this section, you need to fill out your personal details, relationships, and Rehabilitation of Offenders Act 1974. You do this by clicking into each section of the CV. If you have already applied for jobs in the past, it may already pre-populate your information. Once you have filled out your personal details, you will need to click Save and Next. This will then take you to your relationships. So if you have a relationship with anyone that works at the trust, you will need to document the details in the box that is given on the form. After completing the relationship status, you will need to click Save and Next. This will then take you to the Rehabilitation of Offenders Act 1974. On this section, you need to fill out all information. Once you have done this, you will need to click Save. You are now ready to fill out your application questions. On this section, you need to complete your educational and professional qualifications, any relevant training courses you have attended, if you have worked in the NHS before, employment history, any gaps in employment, and your supporting information. If you have already completed a CV on Trac, it may pre-populate your information. Always remember that when you are filling out your supporting information, this needs to be relevant to the specific job role that you are applying for. It's useful to have the job description and person spec up at the same time when filling out your supporting information. You have a maximum of 1,500 words, and we strongly advise that you try and give as much detail of your skills and qualities that you can bring to a new job role. You are now ready to fill in the reference box. To do this, you need to click Start Section. On the References section, you need to fill out all relevant information. Please note that if you are successful at interview, your references will be contacted. If you have had multiple different jobs, you will need to put each reference down. To do this, you simply click Add Another. Once you have completed the References section, you need to click Save. You are now ready to move on to the Equal Opportunities section. To start this, you need to click Start Section. On this section, you need to fill out the Equality and Diversity Monitoring, the Disability section, how you learnt of this vacancy, and the declaration. Once completed, you need to click Save. You have now completed your CV for applying for a job role. We strongly advise that you read through all your answers before marking a section as complete. Once you have read through all your answers and marked each section as complete, you will see that the Submit Application button is now ready to click. If you are ready to submit your application, please click this button. Please note that you will not be able to edit any answers once you have submitted your application. Here's a few hints and tips for applying for NHS jobs. Tip 1. Keep note of your Trac jobs login details. Tip 2. Are you applying for the correct job role? Do you fit the person criteria? Tip 3. Do you have the correct qualifications to fit the job role? And tip 4. Don't forget to check your answers before submitting your application. We hope you found this training video useful and good luck in applying for NHS job roles.